What's up, everybody? This is Zach with the Nerd Cave Podcast, episode 249. I am joined along with the Blue Meanie and the Bearded Sultan.
What's your name?
Blinky.
I'm Winky. I'm Robbie. And I winked at Zach for the people who are listening.
For the audio listeners.
You can't see me winking, but
I hope
I'm winking.
The mics were so sensitive that you
able
could
to pick
hear.
up like the muscles like moving.
You hear it.
Just
You hear the moisture in your eye just.
As everybody shuts off the podcast.
It's just like, nope, done. It's crossed the line now.
unsubscribe.
That
1 star.
is a 1 star.
Oh, so if you don't know, everybody, the Nerd Cave podcast
Poncan.
comes to you each and every week, talks about the nerdy news that you need to know. And if you want it early, you can go to patreon.com/nerdcave. Support us, just like our awesome Patreon producer,
/
Caleb.
seducer.
Yeah, Caleb Palmer did. He went over there, threw some dollars at us, made Robbie.
Holla, it's a sweet one.
It's a lot in one little thing. You gotta.
I gotta pick one or the other.
It was like make Robbie, and then you just holler something. So let's try it again. Make Robbie holler.
It's a sweet one.
See, there we go. That makes more sense. But like, holla, sweet one. Like.
Yeah, that's too much.
I'm just gonna like grab like an entire poem,
Yeah,
and that will be like my high pitch hollering voice.
Just like every week you have to add something different. So by the end, it's just like a 20-minute thing, and that's just the entire.
That's
episode.
the podcast, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
So how's everybody been? It's been a while since we've sat at the table of knowledge.
I like it. Allie, how have you been?
Busy, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've just been really busy with school stuff. I realized, like as you said, the episode number. It's been like 4 episodes since I've been on. I think something like that. 'Cause I think the last one I was on 245.
Yeah.
I don't remember. If I'm wrong, correct me. I don't remember.
At her, bro.
Yeah, at me.
So how's the college life going? I know you've switched majors into music and everything. So how's it going for you?
It's going well. The semester's almost over, which on the one hand is good, and on the other hand is not great, just because stuff is due.
All the work is now.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's been fun. It's been nice. Really looking forward to summer.
Yeah, I don't get one of those anymore.
Well, that's why you changed careers. So
Stupid bank life. I've been doing pretty good. Was a busy week up until yesterday. I got to skip work and get paid for it, but I got to play in the Navy Marine Corps Relief Association golf tournament.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
It is. It's actually Friends of the Navy Marine Corps Association, but it's where Pen Air, we sponsor the tournament every year, and we gave a check for over $40,000.
Oh, that's awesome.
To these people, and they go and help military families. Like there was this lady, she was getting by with $600 a month. She was paying her rent, and she was forsaking food over a place for a place to live, and Friends of the Navy Marine Corps, they were able to come in and give her money, and the way she wasn't able to pay them back monetarily, but she went, and it's completely volunteer based. The people who work there, it's no pay or anything like that.
No nonprofit on that side of it.
So everything that you give goes back to the people that they're trying to help. Yep. So I played in the golf tournament and everything like that. Got sunburnt, got really sore, got stuck on the base for an extended period of time. But it was really fun. I'm by far not the best golfer in the world, but I enjoy playing it. And we got about 18th out of 50 teams, which is not bad. I had a few blunders, but I shined a little bit here and there, and that's all you can ask for.
It's all you can ask for, especially in golf.
Oh yeah, golf can be a harsh mistress at times.
We watch the PGA. I don't watch the PGA, but people watch the PGA and be like, why didn't they do this? Or this person's awful. No.
Oh no. If they're good enough to be on the PGA Tour, they can wipe just about anybody. Like you could be ranked 300th in the world in golf, but you're still ranked in the
golf.
world in golf. So, like, that anybody can have a bad day. Like, I've seen some of the best golfers. I mean, you look at Tiger Woods, he was number 1 in the world, and he fell off the bandwagon. But like I said, golf's a great sport. If you haven't played it, I do recommend it. Like, it can be frustrating at times, but just being able to hit a tiny ball as hard as you can relieves so much anger. Like, that's why I'm able to knock it as far as I can.
Pent up aggression.
Yeah. All those people that tick me off at work, I'm like, this is you, Mr. Member.
You get called in Monday for a psych evaluation. Like, we've heard that you have some anger problems, Robbie. Let's sit down and talk about this.
I was driving the cart, so my boss's boss was in my cart, and like my brake kept sticking. So like whenever I'd ease down on the pedal, like it would like break us. He's like, man, Robbie. He's like, I'm gonna have to go to a chiropractor after I get done with you. I was like, just as long as you don't roll up Monday with like a neck brace and a back brace and HR's in my office, I was like, I'll be okay. But it was fun. How have you been?
Busy. Prepping for going to World Championships next week in Dayton, Ohio with my percussion. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be very long. We leave Tuesday night and get back Sunday afternoon. So it's going to be a very long trip. Looking to hopefully get in the finals this year. So that'd be awesome. Nice. We've got a great show. And I would invite everyone to see it, but at this point in time, it's already happened. By the time it releases and everything. But just been doing that, getting ready for a spring concert, recruiting. I am running at 90-0, and apologize for the wonderful game night that we had. Man, everything seemed to be going wrong.
On both ends, because you were having tons and tons of technical difficulties, and I was having tons and tons of being stuck on a military base that I couldn't get off of.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the internet. Like, we're getting 200-300 megabytes download and then less than a megabyte upload right now.
Like, even today?
Yeah, it's still the same way. And I called Mediacom twice. They reset the router. The first lady did nothing for me. She's like, oh, yeah, you need to buy your own router. I'm like, I literally have your router here plugged into my computer. It's something on your end that's going wrong. Like something's wrong.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, we'll send out a technician. The second lady, thankfully, she spent more time, tried multiple different things. So thank you, Marie. I appreciate you.
My Marie.
Didn't fix anything, but now they're wanting to send out a technician. So hopefully that'll fix things, because Thursday's stream was really good.
Yeah, I watched it. I know you said it dropped a few frames in the beginning.
Tuesdays dropped a few frames. No, Wednesdays dropped a few frames. Okay. Thursdays didn't drop anything. Like, it was smooth as butter.
I wasn't able to be there for it, but I watched, here and there. And, normally, you get a few minutes in and you might hear it break up a little bit, but it was a smooth stream.
It was smooth the whole time. Played Fortnite. People were active in the chat. Like, I enjoyed it a ton. I was like, awesome, tomorrow's going to be great. And then, like, everything was trying to come against it. So, apologize for that. We'll have it fixed, and we'll try to reschedule for another day this month and get a community game night and everything. But other than that, it's been a busy week, but a good week. So
that's good.
Wouldn't trade it for the world. But there's been some stuff going on.
Yeah, this week has been full of jam-packed, if you would, of news.
Now, I had this conversation with Amy right before the podcast. What's the difference between jam and jelly? Since you said jam-packed. So what is your definition, Allie, of jam?
Try to think. I believe that jam is, because I know there is like an actual difference. I think that jelly is a bit more. I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. I don't want to say runnier. Like, it's not as solid as jam, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think it's one's sweeter and one's more tart.
That might also be a factor. But I think the actual physical state of it is different.
Viscosity.
Yeah, from Amy's explanation, which I totally agree with, jam has little pieces of whatever was made out of it, and it's a little chunkier.
You can get that stuff in jelly.
Yeah, you can, but most of the time it's
Okay.
in jam, and then jelly is like the gelatin version of it, so it's like the most like concentrate of it and everything. And then she was asking like, what is up with Concord grapes? Is it the place? Like, why is that always like, oh, these are Concord grapes? Like, why is that a thing? Everybody's like, why didn't they start talking about the news and started talking about jams?
Let me read this real quick. After the initial cooking, jelly is strained through a muslin stockinette or jelly bag to remove any solids. Jam is a thick spread made from fruit juice, chopped, crushed, or pureed fruit, and sugar. And unlike jams and jellies, preserves are chunky in texture.
Ah, so there's a third layer to this. So we have preserves, which is the chunky. Then we have the jam.
Yeah, jam is less chunky, and then jelly is like barely chunky.
Yeah. There you go. So you've learned something today on the Nerd Cave podcast other than the news.
Jam versus jelly.
Yes. Versus preserves. Preserve is like the small italics.
Like you take a bite out of it and you like pull a half-eaten grape out. You're like, what is this?
It's like preserved. Don't even worry about it.
We're preserving it. There was a new Incredibles trailer.
It was. I enjoyed it a lot. I can't wait for this movie to come out. One thing that I really loved was actually the ending when Frozone?
Yeah,
it was like, I'll be there ASAP. And his wife's like, where are you going? You better be back here ASAP. And like, oh my God, that part was just making me laugh so hard.
It's funny, like to use a term I said earlier, the juxtaposition between the first and second movie, where Elastigirl or Miss Incredible was the stay-at-home mom, and he was out saving the world, doing all of this. And now the roles have been reversed, where he is the stay-at-home dad, and she's saving the world.
Yeah.
I just find that funny, like, just showing that, hey, like, it might be easier to be a superhero than it is a parent.
Yeah. And, like, you're wondering if that corporation that Elastigirl is working for, is it evil? I think it has a chance to be the bad, like, government type thing, like where she's doing missions. Like she said, in the trailer she talked about working outside the law.
Mm-hmm.
So
breaking law to fix the law.
Yeah,
it's very possible. It's a movie trope in general, but I know that Pixar really likes that trope.
Yeah,
so it's very possible, if not guaranteed.
What was interesting as well is the villain that they show in that uses electronics to brainwash and mind control the population. Like, do y'all think that's kind of a comment on society as of today?
Yeah, I'm sure that it is, at least somewhat. But
you see a lot of subtle nods to it in movies and different things.
Sure.
At any time, anybody's doing this right here, or you can't see, but there's a TV behind there. People are staring at a TV or a computer screen.
Right now you're looking or listening.
Yeah. So somebody could take over our phones and send like a little funky thing and brain control you.
I mean, they got the FBI watching us, so shout out to you, FBI man.
And apparently Facebook.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear TJ? What is his last name? Is it Edwards Miller?
TJ Miller?
Yeah. Comedian.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Hair, like he played Robbie in
My documentary.
Gravity Falls. No, not you. He's been in a ton of stuff. He's in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, that's TJ Miller.
Yeah, TJ Miller. Show him a picture so he knows.
Isn't that the guy from Deadpool?
Yeah. He got arrested by the FBI this week for making a bomb threat or saying there was a bomb somewhere.
They were saying that there was a bomb in this lady's purse, and like people on the bus were saying that he was, intoxicated and stuff like that. So he is drinking a little bit too much, and I don't care how famous you are, you don't call it a bomb threat.
No.
No, and the FBI got him. So,
yeah. So Deadpool 2 has been playing.
No, thankfully it's already been filmed and everything, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure they're done.
that's dumb.
It's so dumb.
That's so dumb. I just.
But back to The Incredibles. What was your take on it?
I liked it. I hope that the trailer didn't show all the funny bits. That's the problem with modern trailers these days. It shows the best parts of the movie.
Yeah, you see the entirety of the movie in the trailer.
Yeah.
I like the part
Marvel.
where...
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. And what's funny is literally everything that we're... Not everything, but the big stories that we're going to talk about is all Disney today.
I liked when they have Jack in that glass case, and they're like, spontaneous combustion imminent. He's like, what does that mean? And he, boom, fire. Like a little fire thing running around.
Like the fire demon thing. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I just hope that it doesn't fall into that where it shows everything that's good, and then you have the rest of the movie to piece together the funny stuff that you've already seen.
Yeah.
Comedy movies are the worst about that.
Oh my, yeah, because it's like they only have like a lot of modern comedy movies, or like, I guess comedy movies just in general, like they only have a few good bits, and so they show that to get people like, oh my gosh, this movie's gonna be so funny, and then it's like, oh, this was okay at best.
Yeah. What I hope is not just good at best, but amazing is the Han Solo movie.
Han?
Yeah, old Han.
Oh, Han.
Oh, Han, my buddy. We got a new trailer. I think it was actually end of last week.
Yeah.
It launched after we recorded at 2:48.
That's usually how it works.
It's usually how it works. But the trailer looked great. It kind of gave more of the storyline going on here. It looks really good. I'm curious to see what the direction is. Seeing Han become the person that he is, become the smuggler that he is. And I'm assuming we're going to see the Millennium Falcon be one in the movie.
Yeah, because you see him at it looked like a sabacc table.
Yeah, with Lando there and everything. So
now, if you didn't know this was a movie about Han Solo from the name, you definitely knew it was Han Solo from the trailer, because so many nods to the blaster. Like you see the Old Faithful, you know, hokey religions, but it's never as good as a good old blaster. You know, you show that. You show Chewbacca. You show the Millennium Falcon. You show Lando. Like, I mean, it's a ton of, like, you're learning about Han, and that's going to be the coolest part, is like you said, seeing him come into that scruffy looking nerf herder that he is.
And what's interesting, if you watch the trailer, is the people that he's like fixing to get in a gunfight with. The main person is actually like a female, like renegade, like mercenary Mandalorian character. Like her mask is based off of like Mandalorian stuff. So like getting that with a strong female character is going to be awesome. I don't know if like she will be the main bad guy, but it definitely made me intrigued that they're using strong female characters. Of course, we have Amelia Clark. There we go. Amelia Clark in the movie. So I'm wondering what her ties are going to be throughout and everything for that. So I'm excited. Lando looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like Donald Glover. I always want to say Danny Glover, and then I'm like, no.
I'm too old for this.
Donald Glover, I think, is going to do an awesome job at being Lando. But you have any takes?
Nope.
I'm ready for it. Like, having a heist movie, it's making more sense now.
Yeah.
And there's so many questions about the Millennium Falcon that I'm not going to get into today. Why doesn't have the mandibles? Is that like it's like completely together in the front? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
What I've read and I've heard is that might be like a secret compartment type deal, where during the Kessel Run, that's what he jettisoned the spice out of when the Imperials were trying to get him.
Oh.
So that might be where, like, that compartment and everything. And from the way it's been talked about, like, this movie doesn't happen too far from Episode 4. And they're like, how did the Millennium Falcon go from this brand new shiny thing to this
beat up
this
hunk of
hunk of junk type deal. So I just that kind of ebb and flow. I'm wondering how they're going to like take it from that to what episode 4 was.
Yeah. At least give him 5 years at least to mess it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's hard to do though. That's like a 30-year like time span to make it look like that.
Yeah.
I made some modification. Did you clean? Did you clean it all?
No, I was too busy fixing it. We just forsaked cleaning.
And then we actually saw Chewie with I think his wife.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a very interesting thing to put on screen.
Because he left his family for the life debt that he owed Han.
Yeah, so I can't wait for it. I think it'll be awesome. Comes out May, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think
Something like that.
May 16th.
Yeah, I think it's mid-May.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Disney's making money hand over fist.
Oh, yeah. Hand over fist.
Hand over fist. Jessica Jones season 3 has been ordered by Netflix. I haven't watched season 2. I enjoyed season 1
I did too.
a ton.
It's like it's Daredevil, Punisher, then Jessica Jones for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I just love the mind game of Jessica Jones, and I want to see where she goes in season 2, and I definitely want to see where she goes in season 3 because the bad guy
Kilgrave.
That one.
Yeah, like Kilgrave's dead. Like I wonder if she's dealing with the effects of that in the second season. Like
I'm not sure.
yeah, like I just
haven't watched it.
Yeah, I want to see what it's about.
Yeah, it says a lot that they've already ordered a 3rd season. That means the 2nd season is doing well and that they want the property to continue, especially after the Defenders kind of was, and then Iron Fist wasn't received very well at all.
Even though I didn't enjoy
Somebody even say
those,
poorly.
I did. I gave them all 5 stars just so they would continue with the. Hey, I want to see more of those because of course we're going to see the Iron Mans and the Thors of the world, but I want to see the C-list superheroes too.
I understand where you're going, but I wouldn't lie about that, especially about Iron Fist.
Yeah, especially Iron Fist. I
actually enjoyed the Defenders.
I'm not saying that the Defenders was bad. I haven't watched it, but Iron Fist was a garbage
Iron Fist
truck.
was bad.
It was not the best in the world.
A garbage truck on fire rolling down a hill.
Yeah.
With no one inside.
Thank goodness there's
My
no one
life.
inside.
Now, speaking of Marvel and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
News.
if you've seen this or not throughout the week.
I probably have.
Avengers Infinity War has outsold the last 7 Marvel movies in pre-sales combined.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now that's awesome, but it also makes ton of sense. I remember looking at Alan. He's in our Facebook group and everything, which you can join. He said, "Well, yeah, everything's been leading up to this, so it makes total sense why it is."
It's crazy that even especially the popularity of Black Panther and Thor Ragnarok and things like that this movie is doing so well. But I mean, it's a culmination of a ton of things. It's getting
culmination of 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, you have 10 years worth of Marvel movies. You have tons and tons of Marvel characters coming together for the first time. So there's a lot of excitement, and we're actually getting to see Thanos.
Yeah, well, it's been leading up, but he's bleached his skin.
Yeah,
He's pink now. I don't like that. That's my biggest problem with it so far.
I don't know if we'll get into this. If you have this on the list for later stuff, do you have like predictions of like who's gonna die on there?
We can do that right after
Okay,
this.
Cool. Who do you guys think's gonna die? Because I know who I know.
I was about to say, how do you know? Did you?
I mean, I know who like my people are.
She found.
I think Iron Man, Captain America, Thor die.
Yeah, that's what everyone's thinking. I also think that Hulk, like a lot of people don't think this, but I think that Hulk is a possibility just because it's like
he hasn't had a solo movie.
He hasn't had a solo movie. He's not gonna get a solo movie. Mm-hmm. And also, and other people are like, it's gonna be these people is because like their contracts are out and they're not gonna do another like decade contract. But also like in this spoilers warning in Thor Ragnarok, there's kind of like there's a bit of like foreshadowing to Hulk possibly dying because he has this like heroic sacrifice. Like he doesn't die obviously, but it could be foreshadowing for him dying in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Vision.
Yeah, Vision's kind of a shoe-in because Thanos will get all the stones.
Yeah, but I was talking about this with my friends. We were saying that, like, since Vision kind of almost is the Infinity Stone in a sense. But it's like if they defeat Thanos and get that stone back, then they could bring him back and he could be considered like a not death, and that could be like another like movie that they do later on.
Yeah.
Zombie Vision.
Well, he's a robot.
Yeah, he's like an AI powered by the stone.
A mandroid.
So we were saying like it could be like if they did like a Scarlet Witch movie, which would be really cool. They probably won't because it's Marvel, but that could be. I mean, it doesn't have to be a Scarlet Witch movie, but it could be like another just Marvel movie of them like getting Vision back.
Yeah.
I feel so much less of a man that I'm about to even bring this up, but it could be kind of like in the last Twilight movie.
How dare you mention that name in my presence?
When we're talking about good movies, you bring that up, man.
Just wait.
In this holy place.
You know how short hair vampire lady who can like see the future? Alice, yes, how she like sees the battle and everything like that, and everybody dies, but
it's just a waste of everybody's time. Yeah,
exactly, and it comes back. I could see something like that, like maybe like a vision that because Tony already had the vision of everybody dying.
Like, I really hate that trope though. Like, it's just such a shoo-in.
I'm just saying, like, as soon as you said something like that, that popped into my mind, and I like.
But I mean, like we know that people are gonna die, and they said that like the deaths are going to be permanent because the actors aren't gonna renew their contracts.
Well, and it goes into play with what's going to be happening in 2019.
Oh yeah, because like they're gonna be doing like all like the younger kids because they're like we can milk you for the next 10 years.
Yeah, well, and the deal with Fox will be in ink by 2019. So 2020 is like the earliest we'll start seeing them bringing those characters in. 2021 is definitely that's when you'll start seeing everything. But I think them kind of like ending everything this way and then building the next 10 years because they've always been talking about that. I think that would be the best way, and like they've served their purpose. They've done an awesome job. I think they've come out and said that this is a lot of like toll on our bodies. I know Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans is talking about that.
To keep up that Thor physique,
it's a lot
Chris, I mean, he's not a spring chicken anymore.
No.
And it's a lot of work, and like you said, a lot of toll on that body. On his body.
That
body. But like, I could definitely see, and we've in comic, we've seen Thor go to become Jane Foster. They might not take it that route, but in Black Panther, the T'Challa's sister, she came out with those like repulsor gloves, and we know in the comics for Iron Man became a young, African American girl. She kind of took over the mantle as
that
Iron
would
Man.
be really cool if they did that for a multitude of reasons.
And I think I haven't watched Black Panther, but showing that she is probably smarter and more technologically advanced.
Yeah,
than...
like now that you've mentioned that, like there is some kind of like subtle foreshadowing for that. You could like interpret as like foreshadowing for that.
And I'm not saying that it's in stone because of the chick's hairdo, but in the comics, she did have the little Mickey Mouse.
She had the hair buns.
The hair buns things. And so did T'Challa's.
I mean, maybe they'll do it just because of the Mickey Mouse thing. It's the evil mouse overlord.
Your subtle Disney in your face.
It'd be really possible. I bet it would be interesting to see, like, maybe like they had that in consideration, and then they wanted to see how well Black Panther did before they made a decision. But given the success of Black Panther, I could see them doing that, which would be really, really awesome. Because if they did do that, and like, if she got her own solo movie, which again she probably wouldn't because it's Marvel and they don't like giving female solo movies, they would if that were to happen, it would be like the first female superhero solo movie that they've done, but also a woman of color, which would be like insane.
And looking at the opposite side of the aisle, if you will, DC is their most successful movie has been a female solo led movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's been 75% of the movie was amazing.
Are you talking about Wonder Woman?
I know some people had problems with the end, but
Yes, but I'm saying it's been the most successful since they've went into the DCEU era.
Yeah.
So it says a lot about DC actually trying something, because they had to try something.
Yeah.
But that's also one of their top 3 characters. She's one of the top 3.
It was long overdue, and then they butchered all the Amazonians in Justice League, but that's fine.
You know, that's just Joss. And his male gaze. Back to this real quick. The 7 movies that came before Infinity Wars, they grossed over $900 million in their opening weekend. Black Panther opened at $202 million that first weekend, and Infinity War has already doubled. Just Black Panther's pre-sales number has already doubled it. Does that mean that Infinity War is going to make $400 million the first weekend? No. Okay, because I don't know the numbers right off. They didn't give me the numbers on that. But what the projection is, $212 million for the first weekend for Infinity War.
I mean, I could see it definitely blowing the combined movies away.
Oh, I'm sure it will get close, but $900 million in one weekend is really hard. But they are having a global release at the same time.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I have had some issues with this, which I can get into, but because they've been they really kept the actors in the dark when they were filming it. They gave people different scripts, or they blotted out certain things about the script, and I think it was Tom Holland was talking about there were times he would go into set and he was just talking to tennis balls, and he's like, I had no idea who I was talking to. Which on the one hand I get, because you don't want anything getting leaked for this, but on the other hand, you gotta give your actors something so they can do their job.
Yeah.
That actually made me a little upset. I mean, obviously the director's gonna be like, okay, well, can direct them without telling them what's going on, and then eventually they find out, and that's fine. But at the same time I was like, that's a little much. Yeah,
it's taking what Lucas did with the whole Luke, I'm your father line to the nth degree.
Yeah, I guess it all is Disney now. But I think I'm trying to remember who it was. It was maybe Tom Hiddleston, where they're talking about whenever they do the pre-screening, they're not showing the entire movie for everybody. That's for the carpet release or whatever, they're not showing the entire movie.
What?
But that's why for the global release it'll be everyone is actually finally seeing it for the first time.
That's crazy.
That could not be true, but I think I read that somewhere.
That'd be crazy to think.
The critics have to see it, so they.
Technically, they don't have to see it, but that's usually the protocol.
Yeah.
It could be that they're getting to see it. I don't know. Again, I don't remember. This was a couple weeks ago, maybe. I think I read it.
It would be interesting. I think it's a bold stroke.
Yeah.
But I would actually kind of like to see that idea played out, where no one gets to watch it until actually opening
Well, I mean,
night.
that's kind of what it used to be whenever they had midnight releases.
Mm-hmm.
But in the last few years, it's changed.
So
yeah,
we don't have those anymore.
Yeah,
midnight releases
those
were the
trips
best.
back to Jay after 12 o'clock.
Yeah, well, they were a little hard on us back in the day, but now it's I can't go to a midnight release when you go to work the next morning. There's no way.
I'd be coming in with my sunglasses on. I'd be like,
hello. Just don't even get to go to sleep. It's just straight to work.
So, I gave my predictions on who's gonna die. Did y'all give your definitive?
I'm on the same boat. Captain America and/or Iron Man, because I don't know how many of the big people they're gonna kill off. I think they're gonna kill off a good number of them, but possibly Thor. I'm not 100% sold on it, but I wouldn't be surprised. And then Hulk.
He's already dead.
I know.
I can see. I think it's going to be Iron Man. It's going to be the first to die. He sacrifices himself to give the team, a second chance at taking down Thanos, and then the others die after that.
I've seen some people predict that Bucky might die, which is possible, but if they don't, what I think would happen is Because in the comics, like, he takes over for Captain America, so
Well,
I could
so
see
does-
that being a possibility.
So does Falcon.
Yeah, but a lot of people had problems with Falcon taking over because Falcon didn't have like the super soldier serum. I know Bucky doesn't either, but he is.
But like he has like his own special thing going on.
He's got robot arm and boxcar.
And he's like, they've already shown that he's like a match for Captain America.
Yeah. Falcon, he's always like, "Oh, my wings! Oh!"
I know,
they
but I'm just
unfortunately
saying,
made him
like,
a
he
weak
has.
character.
But I was just saying that he has taken the mantle.
Yeah, he has, but a lot of people did not like that arc, me included. Nothing against Falcon, but it was not the greatest. So we've got Captain America, Iron Man. I'm going to call it right now. Thanos dies.
I think,
Yeah, probably.
I just think he surrenders and tucks tail and run.
I think that it is very possible he dies specifically because it's been 10 years in the making and they want to give the audience payoff.
Yeah, I can see he dies, and then...
But then there's another bad person who's like, well, I have to finish what he started, or something like that.
And if you look at Thanos' backstory, like, he is super involved with death. Like, he's in love with death. That's his character and everything. I could see death bringing him back. Like, I don't know.
That's possible.
Like, if they're going to get that deep in the weeds, but, you know, that's always been part of his story arc, is, like, he's had a relationship with death, and, like, he's went on this tirade to please death, essentially. So... I could see that being a part of it. And then with the Fox and Disney deal happening, it would be a good way to end the 10 years, reboot everything. And the Russo brothers are actually wanting to make a Secret Wars movie in the near future. So with the 2019 deal happening, that opens up the possibilities of all these other characters that are huge.
X-Men,
Fantastic Four. You have Galacticus. You have all of these different enemies, Silver Surfer, all of this in there. And they're wanting not to do like the 1984-85 version, which is the original Secret Wars. They're wanting to do the 2015, which kind of what it was had all of like the multi-dimension and all of that. But like everything kind of like ceased to exist except for this place called the Battle World. And like all these different dimensions and different characters kind of came in, fighting each other and everything. So there's a different way to bring in new characters. You could see Miles Morales come in.
That would be really cool to have both Peter Parker and Miles.
I'll take it a nod kind of to a game, but Contest of Champions is a Marvel game on the phone that's super popular, and it does take it into the battle realm. And, you know, right now I have classic Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Spidey-Gwen on my team fighting and stuff like that. So, like, you know, I'm actually learning more about, like, the battle realm and how it worked and everything. And it's a super cool story, and I think that this game being out could help get more people who don't particularly know what Secret Wars is to get them involved with it, because, like, I mean, it's a very popular game and a really cool concept.
Yeah, because that the Secret Wars in 2015 pretty much essentially like rebooted everything, and the popular characters from different dimensions actually bled into the new. Well, now they're doing it again, but anyway, their new version of the Marvel Universe, because we saw Spidey-Gwen actually get her own comic and everything from that. So I think it would be an interesting thing to do, because it could culminate.
Yeah, and they could do exactly what they've done for the last 10 years. Just everyone gets occasional movies, and then work together a little bit. Now we have some more characters, and then work together, and like it could be like a whole new thing, but just with new characters. Which I could definitely see them doing that. It would be a smart choice on their part.
Yeah, and that would actually bring in, you know, Jane Foster being Thor, or Doctor. Oh my gosh, it was the
Octopus.
The guy with the cane that would turn into.
Alfred.
I hate brain farts. But, you know, there's been different people take the mantle.
Octopus.
Dr. Octopus takes
Doc
the
Ock,
mantle as Thor,
Green Goblin.
Yep. I think it's pronounced Mysterio. Man, I would love to see a Mysterio movie. I would love to see a Mysterio movie. Like, so many people are like, oh man, I'd love to see Green Goblin again. No, I want to see Mysterio as the main villain. Like, he's so cool, and so many people crap on him.
Plot twist, they bring back a dead Iron Man. He's the villain. Zombie Iron Man.
There was a zombie set of comics where everybody was like trying to
Of course there was.
eat everybody.
The zombie
Yeah,
Avengers.
I never watched it.
Yeah.
Or watched it. Yeah, I watched it with my eyes and I read it with my mind.
I mean, that's not
But-
entirely inaccurate.
Yeah, I know, but it sounds so weird.
It does sound really weird.
But, I mean, we've even seen Beta Ray Bill be Thor.
Yeah, which that's a interesting thing. I don't think they do that just because a horseman thing probably wouldn't sell very well on that. So I think it'll be interesting overall, but you could definitely see that they're trying to get to the next step.
Yeah.
And the Russo brothers wanting to make that, we'll see what they do with Infinity War. They've directed other...
Yeah, they did, which all one? They did Civil War, and what was I know they did one other one. I can't remember what it was.
Civil War was great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, Civil War definitely proved that they can handle a lot of the characters on screen at once.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's, like, it's good to entrust them with this. It'll be interesting, like, although my friends and I were saying it's like, yeah, we're really excited for Infinity War. Like, we really want to go see it, like, the night of the premiere. But we're like, a good majority of the movie is just going to be all these characters getting used to each other, cracking-wise, and then, like, the last 5 minutes are going to be all the action.
Hopefully not. I'm
sure it won't be exactly like that, but a lot of it is going to be like, oh, wait, who are you? Oh, I'm this person. Wait, who are you? Like, that's going to be a lot of it.
Yeah, because they already showed that moment between Tony and Star-Lord. He's like, that's a good thought, but how about we do my plan? And it's just like, Tony's like, who are you?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what we're going to get into. Hopefully it won't be a lot of that.
I think it's, like, I think it's going to be there a majority of the time, but they're still going to have the underlying action of, things are moving forward, but that is going to be an overtone for most of the movie, for sure, just because I know Marvel's formula, and it's their humor. It's what they're going to do.
Do you think Star-Lord plays a big part in in defeating Thanos, since he is technically a very powerful character?
Yeah, I think it's possible, but I would love to see the final blows go to Nebula and
Gamora.
Gamora, yes, I was blanking on their names.
Yeah.
I really hope that they get the final blows, just for, like, poetic justice.
Yeah, I think that would be the right way to do it. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's actually going to happen?
No, I don't, just because it's Marvel.
I think it'll be either Captain America or Iron Man, and they die from that final,
doing it. Yeah.
I mean, I could see it being,
or Hulk.
That's possible.
I could see, it's Captain America with, like, his unibeam. I could see it being Thor doing the lightning, and then Captain America throws in the shield, and that's what kills him. Is like a culmination of.
That's probably what it'll be. It'll be a culmination of all this. Like, hey, we're gonna defeat him with the power of friendship.
Earth, wind, water.
Everything changed from the Fire Nation attack. Plot twist, Aang comes out at the end.
I was going Captain Planet, but okay.
You know what would be great? Ant-Man just goes inside of him and then just turns into Giant Man.
That would actually be really funny.
Like, we took care of it, man.
Ant-Man is secretly the most powerful person in the universe.
One thing about the new trailer, like, it was a new clip that they released that, like, made me a little, like, really, guys? Like, I understand, like, suspension of disbelief, but come on, it's like whenever it's the one with Spider-Man, and he's saying, like, oh, cause a distraction so I can sneak out of the bus, and he jumps out of the bus, like, wearing, like, the Spider-Man mask, and I'm like, okay, look, I get it, Marvel, but people are gonna see that Spider-Man just came out of this school bus, and people are gonna turn around and be like, where'd Peter go? We were in a bus on the bridge.
Yeah. But like, hey, look, there's a new Snapchat geo filter with impending doom. And everybody's like, oh, yeah. And then, like, that's me just making a comment on society in general. But there you go, everybody. That's what Marvel's doing. That's what Disney's doing. It's ruling your life. It's got your pocketbook right where it wants it.
Yeah, they do.
And then Insomniac's making a Spider-Man game, which looks dope. To mention that is leaked that the Iron Spider suit will be in the game.
Yeah.
From the.
I saw the glowing eyes. And I was like, oh.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Grr.
Well, everybody, we hope you enjoyed episode 249. Next week we will have episode 250.
Yes, we will.
We've recorded 249 before that, so that's an impressive feat to reach 250 in a podcast. Most don't go past 10.
Yeah, I've seen a lot fizzle out.
So we're happy that you've listened so long and that you enjoy everything that we do. If you want to support us, you can go over to patreon.com/nerdcave. Check out all the awesome content over there. And if you're in love with video games as much as we all are, you can go over to Nerd Cave Gaming, check out the Nerd Cave Plus show, check out the live streams that we do and everything. We're all over the interwebs.
Yeah, all you really have to do is go to Google and type in Nerd Cave. Our Facebook pops up. I believe our Instagram pops up. We even have a website that we don't use very much, but we do have a website.
Yeah,
but we're mostly on Facebook and YouTube, so pay more attention there.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. Thank you for watching episode 249. We hope that you have an awesome week. This has been Zach,
Robbie,
and Allie.
Have a week.